Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Ride Option Podcast. Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, aye, Captain. New episode of Sprint Ride Option Podcast. I am Andrew Pasquini, joined as always by Jason Aponte. And, some of you may have seen the post-game stream we did yesterday, Jason. I hope you guys did, because it was fun. It was chaotic. It was a lot of emotions. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. This is the cleaned up version of that, where we're actually going to talk about the game and everything that happened. So we're happy you guys are here. Mav, thank you very much. I'd love to see your name there. Jason, how are you doing on this lovely Monday of a wild card weekend week?
Riding a high still. Yeah. And I'm not coming down for 2 more days. I'm resigning myself to any show that I'm on, whether it's my own, anybody else's. We're just going to have fun talking about this game. And then all eyes will shift on where the next game is, because I don't want to let this game go. It's like that moment where it's like, I don't want to stop talking about this game. I don't want to have to move on, because the next bunch of nerves and anxiety will come with the next game. But I want to hold on to this one, and I want to talk about it. And this is going to be one of those games that when we do a throwback review episode of a game, this is one of those games, man. This is one of those games. And, I made the point on the post-game show. Jordan gave me pushback that this was up there with Week 17 against Seattle. This is the most memorable, in my opinion, game for the 49ers in a long time. And that includes that game. Just because of the circumstances, right? That Seattle game was, you're trying to overcome the hump. But you were winning all of that game. 17-0 with a guy with a messed up thumb? Come on, man. So we got a lot to talk about, but I'm just trying to ride this high. Everybody that's in here right now, thank you guys for pulling up. I see a lot of the same names that we have in here. We appreciate you guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. This week is going to be jam-packed with content as we prepare for the first time that the Sprint Ride Option Podcast and Jason Aponte's YouTube channel will be covering a playoff team. Andrew, how does that feel?
I did. It's electric. It's going back and just looking at this season. I've been thinking about it because, this is kind of a New Year's sorts, right? The season's over. Where the Niners are going to the playoffs, all that fun stuff. But reflecting on what this season was, Ryan, thank you for the donation. The hat is fire, Jason. I said that before the stream.
Appreciate that. And Masters of Aura wants to know, how many 49er hats do I have? Do you know? I don't know. And I have a lot. Sorry.
I used to have more. I made this shift from flat brims to dad hats. Chris, thank you for the donation.
I've got them all. Dads, flats, fitted, snaps. It's whatever, man.
I need to get more Niner dad hats. That's all. But I was really thinking about that game yesterday, and I kind of said it on the pod, what we did last night, the post-game show and all that. That game last night was kind of a microcosm of the season. A little bit of all the adversity, the slow start. The Niners started 2-4. Slow start in the game yesterday. They're down 17-0. They kind of bounce back, and come back kind of in the middle of the season. And then at the very end, they pulled it together just like they did. And I mean, you had the whole defense struggling on third downs, defense shutting them down. Good Jimmy, bad Jimmy, Deebo throwing, running, catching, all the fun stuff. And this game had a little bit of everything. And that I've been trying to think of the 3 stars all for 24 hours now. I've been trying to think of the 3 stars.
Eddie, I'm sorry. I was turned up yesterday.
Jason was very turned up yesterday. And so this team is going to the playoffs, and that's all that matters. And I feel like, Jason, you said it yesterday too. We could talk about the interceptions all we want and all the bad things, but realistically, man, we're here to talk about a team that did enough to win yesterday, and a team that's going to the playoffs, and not only going to the playoffs, but going into the playoffs against one of the most recognizable rivalries in sports history. We won't talk about it yet, but it's kind of a whirlwind of emotions the past 24 hours with this team. It's been fun.
It's just the way that game happened and the way it started. And look, I'm not going to kill any 49er fan that was yelling for a quarterback change or they thought the game was over. Sean McVay thought the game was over. That's why he was running into the end zone. So it wasn't just you that felt that way. But I'm so glad that this was the one game of the year where I didn't reactionary tweet everything, right?
Yeah.
When things happen, I literally sent, okay, all right. That's it. That's all I sent. Trying to keep myself subdued to make sure that I stay level headed, that I don't have any issues, like, right? But that was me just trying to calm myself down more than anything.
Yeah.
I was more nervous about that than anything. So everything was not trying to be too reactionary. And because if you look at my tweets during games, I can cold take myself 12 times in a game,
Oh, yeah.
per game.
It's easy. It's easy to
very
do.
easy. Right. It's very easy to do. But not, and you know what? I'm not going to sit here and act like, man, I knew the entire time because it didn't look good. But when you get 3 going into the half and then Deebo Samuel scores that touchdown, that's it. That's when you're like, man, it's a game now. And then my philosophy that I've been preaching about all week about how the Rams, when you punch them, they don't punch back. They want to go home.
Yeah.
It happened. It happened. And that's it. It's not, well, it is. Kyle knows McVay. Kyle knows Raheem Morris.
Yeah.
But their style, the Rams are not built like that. And when the game and push comes to shove, they take the ball and go home. And I was kind of happy that happened. A lot of people were hitting me on Twitter like, bro, you kind of called that one out. It's true. Look at how they play against winning teams.
Mm-hmm.
You can beat up on the Jacksonville Jaguars all you want. I don't care.
It creates such an interesting playoff matchup too between them and the Cardinals because it's two teams that, and obviously this is a conversation about Saturday now, but it's two teams that are really struggling, and it's really going to be a survival of the fittest between those two teams. Brittany, thank you for the donation. 100% of Benjamin Such should go to Ayuk and ST. Yeah, I mean, sure, yeah. But in terms of, I mean, the place we're obviously going to start, Jason, is Jimmy Garoppolo. Is what he did, and it's the ride that is Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Is the interceptions that happened in the first half, or even the second half. He had the one in the second half, but he came through at the end. He came through at the end, as he does more often than not. I mean, people obviously like to talk about the Super Bowl, but in 2019, all season, he was clutch down the stretch, fourth quarter games, moments like that. He was clutch the whole time. And we saw it again. We saw it again yesterday, but maybe with more of a mix. This was pretty much, I think you said it yesterday, this was the Bengals game again. This was pretty much the Bengals game for Garoppolo. I just think this time on an umpteenth level because it's against a division rival and the playoffs are on the line.
Yeah. And I don't care how it got there.
That's the thing. I don't care either.
But they did it. He did it. Look, who cares? And that's what I've been talking about all week. I don't care how you get it done. Get it done. And the decision that people were upset about is correct.
Yeah.
True. They got it right. They nailed it. And that's it. So for the people, Kyle Shanahan's got to go. Look at what happened. Slow down. And this is why Kyle wanted him. He trusted him. And it worked. May not be perfect. And it may have given you heart palpitations. My watch told me 4 times your heart is racing 120 BPMs and you haven't and you're not active. But it worked. And the same thing that I'm going to say about Jimmy Garoppolo, I just said on Rob School's show, which is great, and I implore you guys to check that out. The criticisms they don't go away, and they're not wrong. But if you cannot praise this man for what he just did, then you have an issue. Those criticisms are still valid this morning, but that praise needs to be there for what he did. In the face of impossibilities with that thumb, 88 yards to send the game to overtime, that ball to Deebo Samuel, which Jalen Ramsey couldn't get to, which missed his fingertips, that throw will live rent-free in my mind for a long time. And I am going to go out on a limb in a prisoner of the moment take. That is the best throw in Jimmy Garoppolo's 49ers tenure. When you look at magnitude, when you look at where it was, the little shoulder shimmy was enough to get Jalen Ramsey away, and then you zipped it in to Deebo Samuel, and also Deebo Samuel and Jimmy G were on the same page. That route's supposed to go to the sideline. He stopped it. He knew what his quarterback was thinking. The quarterback put it on him, and then Deebo Samuel did the rest. That is the best throw that Jimmy Garoppolo has had as a San Francisco 49er, and I am on the hill, and I'm prepared to die here.
I think you're right, because I mean what other throws are we comparing? Like the 3rd and 16 to Bourne against the Rams and 19. Like Garoppolo doesn't have as many signature throws as he does signature get the ball to the receiver so the receiver can get the yardage, kind of like the George Kittle play. That I think what we saw yesterday was his signature throw, and I think you're absolutely right, Jason. And just the little things he did throughout that game. That drive right before halftime cannot be forgotten. They start at the 15 and he takes 5 plays to get the Niners in field goal range. And
real quick, I'm sorry. Counterpoint flying Batman? No. Does that work?
Yeah, that's Friday flying Batman. Thank you.
Does that? Oh, is this Marketing Pro?
It might be.
Look, bro. You pulled up to the show. We talk about what we want. So don't tell us what to talk about. We are talking about a game right after. So
yeah,
respectfully, no.
But yeah, so we're like, you can't forget that drive because it's I guess, to put it in basketball terms, the 2-for-1, right? Is they get the 3 points right before the half. Now it's a 2-possession game going into half. And if you can get a touchdown on that drive, all of a sudden it's a 7-point game with the remaining of the game laid out totally fine. And Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, I get it. The interception was there. All that stuff happened. But at the end of the day, when the Niners needed him, they got him. And it's incredible that he seems to take this team to the brink of death and pull them back more often than not. And it's weird. And I don't know if I know you've definitely had better quarterbacks in your 49ers life than I have, Jason. I've had Kaepernick. You got to see Young and all of them. I don't think any quarterback makes me feel the way Jimmy Garoppolo makes me feel because of how he gives you both extremes in one game. But here we are. Like Jimmy Garoppolo saves the day. And that's what it is. And yes, I get he had all the help from all his receivers, but when it comes down to it, the Niners needed 5 plays and 88, or they needed 88 yards. Jimmy Garoppolo got it in 5 plays, and the Niners go to overtime and win the game.
Here's what I have to say about what happened. And, he's digging himself out of the hole that he's in. Counterpoint. What is that, Andrew? Something's bouncing around. Yeah. Oh, all right. Counterpoint. Many people have to come back when things don't go right. Now, whether that's because you have not played well or the defense hasn't played well, right? Like Matthew Stafford leads the world in fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. How many of those are because he played horribly through three quarters and had to dig himself out of that? Or his defense didn't play well? If you're in a comeback portion of the game, usually things didn't go your way one way or another, whether that's your play or the game didn't. So I don't understand this argument about, well, he's digging himself out of the hole. That's why it's called a comeback.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a comeback. So again, the criticisms are not wrong. They don't go away. But if you cannot objectively give this man credit with that messed up thumb in that game of that magnitude and being down 17-0 and then to do what he did in overtime, then you're lost. You're lost. And that's the problem. Is you can still feel the same way that you felt about Jimmy Garoppolo 72 hours before while also being able to give the man credit.
Yes.
Why can't you give credit? That's the problem.
Thank you for the donation. Jimmy's Eli Manning 2.0, heroically frustrating. Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Jimmy's best anticipatory throw was that Emmanuel Sanders throw against the Cardinals. I agree with that too.
That's up there too. But yeah, man, Jimmy Garoppolo is an enigma. I've said it before. Thank you, Know Your Personnel, for the donation. With you, Ponte. I'm in an NFC trash talk group on Facebook, and they told me to move on because I'm trolling the Lambs. I said not till Wednesday.
Oh, hold up. Can I talk about this real quick? Rams fans, we're not getting up off your neck. Sorry. Y'all wanted all the smoke. We had some bozo in here in all our comments, right? Montana Stafford, right? Was that his name? Matthew Montana?
Matthew Montana.
What happened? Where y'all at?
I miss Marketing Pro.
Hey, look.
I do miss Marketing Pro. He was
I
fun.
forgive, but I don't forget. And trust me, I'm not getting up off the Rams until Wednesday. Then eyes will move to the Dallas Cowboys. But
which is a whole other thing.
I am not getting up off the Rams. Will you stop? No way. And they were talking crazy. And if you don't believe that game mattered the most to them, let me point out two things. One, Sean McVay acted like he just lifted the Lombardi in the second quarter and ran into the end zone.
The McVay celebration is insane.
Two. Check this one out. Two. The Rams won the NFC West, and their locker room was like they just lost a playoff berth. They didn't pop one bottle, didn't wear one. That's a hat and T-shirt game.
Yeah.
You didn't wear one
hat. I didn't even think about that.
You didn't wear one hat and one T-shirt. Y'all, they sat in there like they just lost. You expect me to let that slide? What are you talking about? They wanted that game more than anything. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially with the 17-0 lead, like that was a team there to win, and the nine, like honestly, out of all the teams in the playoff right now, I feel like the one you got, I mean, maybe the Eagles, because the Eagles lost 51-26 or whatever it was. But the Rams can't feel good at all right now walking into the playoffs, right? Brittany, we appreciate you, Brittany.
No, but you know why they can't feel good? Two things. The Rams are owned by the 49ers. Okay.
Yes. And yeah.
And they don't beat winning teams. And now you are going into a situation where all you're going to face is winning teams. The Rams could be 1-done. Mm-hmm. And I think this game was their litmus test as to how far they feel they can go.
Yeah.
The 49ers have beaten winning teams. And they just did. In their house. No, wait. My bad. The 49ers are going to have to play a few road games before a home Super Bowl game. You see what I did there?
I do.
So, yes. The Rams are defeated mentally because they needed to prove something to themselves. And that's it. And they can't, right? No winning teams, and the 49ers still own you. If Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, then Kyle Shanahan owns Raheem Morris and Sean McVay.
Thank you
Tomorrow,
for the
y'all should
donation.
dedicate. Tomorrow, y'all should dedicate the whole show recapping the Rams sweep. We on their next smoking pack Statford. I love
Just
it.
just an episode. We could go one episode a day covering all 6 losses.
McVay running into that end zone like he won the Super Bowl in the second quarter. Jen, thank you for the donation, and thank everybody for all the donations.
Yes.
How was that not a flag?
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know, and I wasn't sure if I was being the salty, like my favorite team is down 17-0, and I see something I think is wrong. Like, where's the flag? I thought. I mean, Sean Payton in New Orleans got called for one just like that, not celebrating but arguing with the ref. He came out that far. It was wild. I don't know how that was in a flag though, but hey, neither here nor there. Another name I think we should talk about outside of Garoppolo, D'Amico Ryans. The Madman did it again. It was a very slow start, 17-0. And then the Rams just stopped being able to move the ball. It's almost like they got punched in the mouth and couldn't punch back or something. That's weird. We're having fun with this one.
No, you know what? I want to find that Dante Whitner clip where he was yelling about Ahkello Witherspoon, and I want to apply it to the Rams. I don't know if you guys remember that. This was after the Miami game. Frustrations were high last year. Brian Allen. Yeah, and Dante Whitner was talking about Ahkello Witherspoon. And he was like, let's be real. Ahkello Witherspoon's soft, okay? S-O-F-T, soft, okay? No, that's the Rams. That's where I got that from. That's a Dante Whitner reference. But look, I'm not a homer, bro. It's about watching their games against winning teams. And that was easy to point out. I feel like that was an obvious thing. That's not some deep film study or anything like that.
Yeah.
The Packers did it to them. Whenever there's a good team in your way, and those divisional games, toss those out, right? Because the Rams lost twice last year, and they made the playoffs, and the 49ers didn't.
Yeah.
So toss those games out. Just because in your division you're a winning team, I don't count those because you have that team's number. You face them twice a year. I'm talking about when you face out of divisional play winning teams, Packers, Chiefs, any of those teams. Can you win those games? Mm-hmm. You can't because you're not built like that.
And looking at the Rams schedule too, I mean, just to pound home Jason's point, their losses this season were the Cardinals, the Titans, 2 playoff teams, the Niners, a playoff team, the Packers, a playoff team, and the Niners, a playoff team. Their wins were the Bears, not a playoff team, Colts, no, Buccaneers, yes, Seahawks, no, Giants, no, Lions, no, Texans, no, Jaguars, no. They beat the Cardinals, so that's a yes. They beat 1 playoff team this season.
Who?
The Cardinals. The Rams have beat 1 playoff team this season.
That's what I'm saying, but that's a divisional game.
Or
so,
2,
all right,
2, because the Buccaneers.
Right, so there was a tweet floating around. There's a tweet floating around that's pretty funny, right? And it says this. Pete Carroll owns Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay. Sean McVay owns Pete Carroll. Cliff Kingsbury owns Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The NFC West is wild.
Perfect.
It really is. And I mean, you saw it yesterday. I mean, you see how much chaos was caused just within the division. The Cardinals losing to the Seahawks is just a microcosm. It's I don't know why I'm flickering. I don't know what's going on with my setup, but that's okay.
Yeah. You've been popping in and out real quick, but I got
you. Where do you want to go from here? We got the Garoppolo talk out. We could talk the defense a little bit. Where do you want to go?
Let's bury the lead a little bit more. There's somebody that I really want to talk about, but let's talk about Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah. Some tough physical runs yesterday.
And here's the funny part. You start the game with outside zones. That's not working. The Rams were ready for that. And then you go back to inside zones, and then it starts to work. But if you watch the initial meeting with the Rams, everything was in between the tackles with Elijah Mitchell. And it wasn't big gash runs. They were 3 yards. 27 for 91, I believe, is what he finished with. That's about 3 yards a clip.
21 for 85.
Yeah. So sometimes Kyle Shanahan needs to snap back, right? Like, so basically, and Rob pointed this out on his show, so I'm not going to steal his take. I want to make sure that he gets it. Rob School, you guys should definitely, I'm sure you're subscribed to him. Best setup, best camera. That man is clear as day whenever I'm on his show. I can't even believe how clear he is. But it's almost like Kyle was like, okay, so we beat you this way, inside running. Now I'm going to hit you outside. But Raheem Morris was ready for that. And then he went right back and he snapped back to reality and went on the inside zone. It felt like every single time that Elijah Mitchell was caught behind the line of scrimmage, it was the best 3-yard run I've ever seen in my life. It was the best 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8-yard run because he's knocking through guys. Elijah Mitchell has been spectacular this season. And you guys know my stance and everybody's going to kill me. That's fine. I'm not backing off of it. But that doesn't stop me from praising the best rookie running back the 49ers have ever had, ever, in one season. That's not even... You know what's funny? Elijah Mitchell's rushing yard total is the highest since Carlos Hyde for any running back.
No.
Since
really?
Carlos Hyde. Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Yeah. They've had good running backs, but they haven't had any really true every carry guy. Yeah.
And think about it. Raheem Mostert popped off at the end of the year. He didn't end up with 900-something yards. That's the thing. This is truly a special season from Elijah Mitchell. And the 49ers have found something in a 6th-round pick. Mm-hmm. Crazy, man.
Here's something that's fun. If you take his last 5 games that he's played, Week 10, Week 12, Week 13, he missed a couple, 17 and 18. He had 20-plus carries in all of those games. If you take his numbers from those 5 games, put it over a 16-game average, it would have been 378 carries for 1,500 yards. So, like, his last 5 games, like, if you expand that over a season, have been insane. It's 118 carries, 494 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, and we're obviously going to talk about another guy who without him, this offense isn't working. We know who that is. Elijah Mitchell is the secondary piece that makes it work. I mean, with the consistency, he offered so much consistency at running back this season that the Niners haven't had in one running back because they've had to go to multiple guys to get that production. This is definitely one of the best, if not the best, rookie running season from a Niner that at least in my life for sure. I can't speak for people before that, but he's been insane. And you mentioned the runs where it's 3 yards. He had one where he was 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, 2 Rams on him, and he got, I think, 3 yards from it. So what he's done has been insane. And yeah, I'm happy you talked on him because in terms of numbers, 21 carries, 85 yards, kind of a pedestrian looking game. But you got to see what those plays were to really understand how good he was.
Yep. And I love Javonte Williams, but Elijah Mitchell's really good. So we'll just leave it at that. Let's move on. I got another guy I want to talk about.
Deebo?
No. We'll get to him.
We'll get to him.
There's a receiver on his team that had his best receiving day of the season. Do you know his name?
Is it Jauan Jennings?
Nope, someone else.
Oh, it's not even Jauan Jennings? Oh, is it Ayuk?
Yes.
Yeah.
103 yards. Hey, man. Yeah, look, Jennings. We'll get to Jennings.
We'll get to Jennings.
We'll get to Jennings. I'm talking about the starting pieces.
Mm-hmm.
What are the things that people fear when you get to the playoffs? 2 things. A team hitting on all cylinders and a team that is getting healthy. Well, Brandon Ayuk has stacked his 2 best receiving days back-to-back, 2 different quarterbacks. Next week against the Dallas Cowboys, I expect Azeez Al-Shaair. I expect K'Wan Williams. The only unknown right now is Jaquiski Tartt. But this defense is going to be as healthy as it's been all year. Dre Greenlaw was back. I am happy for Brandon Ayuk. Continues to make plays and is peaking at the right time. Again, Super Bowls have been won not by the better team, but by who's healthy and clicking and I know I'm getting ahead of myself because there's a game to be played this week, but the 49ers are what we wanted them to be going into this playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The team nobody wants to play.
Yep.
Run defense. The 49ers, and this is Jordan Elliott's stat of Niners Nation. Shout out to him. Rich Madrid, too. 8 of the 9 games in the beginning of the season, 100-yard rushers. The 49ers have had 1 since. 1. Sonny Michel was unstoppable the last few weeks. Cam Akers was back. We're supposed to be scared about Cam Akers. You know, coming off an Achilles, that's not going to be a problem. He's not going to be ready to go. I don't understand why people were running with that. The fact that he was on the field was a miracle.
Yeah.
Nobody was afraid of what he was going to do. That man needs to get on the field more. But this team is peaking at the right time. And so is Brandon Ayuk. Because it's a beautiful thing. People obviously know who's the engine, the MVP of this team. But if Brandon Ayuk is this guy, one, we didn't like the way that he was treated earlier in the year, but can you argue with the results right now? Nope.
No.
And if this team is peaking at the right time, and that includes the number 2 receiver on this team, who could probably be a 1 on many other teams.
Yeah.
You're in trouble. So I want to talk about Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, he's been so good down the stretch, and he shows stretches of why I still consider him physically the best receiver on this team. Obviously, I think Deebo is an offensive weapon. I guess I don't know. The Niners offense is so hard to dissect and kind of talk about all the. I mean, it's easy, but it's also hard to talk about how they use people. But Brandon Ayuk has we got a Cowboy fan. Yes.
No. Can I get him real quick? Can I get him?
We're not okay.
All right, just real quick.
Got you.
Just real quick. Real fast. Real quick. NFC West, 4 teams, 3 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
NFC East, Joe Judge, the Giants, the Washington football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Godspeed, young man. And let the comments go get you.
Hey,
NFC West is much better than the NFC East. Will you be quiet?
Hey, I hope we see you Texas boy on Friday though, because we like our opposing fans here. Because it's always fun to Don Bird the legend. Shout out Don
Vic Fangio owned you in your stadium. What's
the hell's Fangio running over there?
What's Fangio running over there, man? He's running man match. He's taking away all the crossers, man.
Jason raised his hand. Yes, it's he learned that from Vish. Vish. Remember when Vish was on the pod? He would raise his hand when he was ready to talk. I love him. I'm gonna go to the other receiver, not the other receiver that we can talk about. I'm gonna talk about Deebo Samuel. Perfect passer rating, 158.3. 8 carries, 45 yards, a touchdown, 4 receptions, 95 yards. The play that got the Niners in a position to score and tie it, to take it to overtime. He's an offensive weapon, and I mean, I don't really have anything to add that we haven't said already this season. It's just what he's meant for this offense. And we've said the same variation of this thing. Got him.
Own him, Chris.
Own him. And yes. Thank you for the donation, Chris. There's nothing we can really say about Deebo Samuel that we haven't said already. He makes the offense go. He's their MVP. He's their MVP, and it's not close. But we finally got to see him complete a pass, and it was a touchdown, and it was a huge play. So I'm very happy.
Take your victory.
Hey, man. Hey, it's just Shanahan trying to get his guy MVP votes. You want quarterbacks? Well, I got a quarterback who can also run. I decided I found that stat. Only seasons in NFL history with 8 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, and 6 receiving touchdowns was Deebo Samuel and Gale Sayers. So Deebo Samuel had a very unique year. And that's why I think, to me, Cooper Kupp's the better receiver. But in terms of overall offensive weapon, we literally haven't seen that since the days of Gale Sayers.
We had somebody in my comments on YouTube. How dare you say that Deebo Samuel means more than Cooper Kupp? And I don't even know if he sounds like that. Now you see. You literally know who's going to get the ball, and you can't do a damn thing about it. That's why. Different. Built different. Cooper Kupp can put up all those stats. He had an extra game. Guess what? He didn't even beat Megatron's record. Damn, B. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. You tried. You tried, though. That was cute. And you also had more targets. You had like 800 more targets than the next guy behind you. And you still couldn't get it done, huh? Yeah. Listen, impact on the game, empty stats. Don't need them. I promise you, don't need them. Deebo Samuel, more valid, more valuable than Cooper Kupp. Running back, touchdown. Passing touchdown. Nuts on the line. Big money catch.
Yeah.
Biggest play of the season.
I was kind of hoping he'd get the touchdown to tie it. So he had a game where he had a rushing, passing, and receiving touchdown. I'm sure that hasn't happened a ton. I guess the last name on offense I'll mention too is Jauan Jennings.
Go for it.
He is quickly becoming my favorite 49er. He gets, I can't remember if he was drafted or undrafted last year. He's practice squad player all year. And he slowly gets his chance throughout the season. And to me, and I haven't seen the tape yet. I don't know what the Niners are running on that play exactly. I'm sure Rich will give me an answer when
it's a dagger variation.
But it sure as hell, to my untrained eye, seemed like Kyle Shanahan had the trust in Jauan Jennings to be the guy that Brandon Ayuk is clearing space out for. It's like the season is on the line, and Kyle Shanahan draws up a play to get the ball to Jauan Jennings. That's trust, man.
Well, it was the same sort of play that they ran to Kittle that ended up in an interception, and they went back to the look, and the Rams, they blew the coverage. Yeah. Let's just keep it a buck. So, but here's what I want to say about Jauan Jennings. Kyle Shanahan, you have your big slot that you crave. You wanted this to be Jalen Hurd. You wanted it so bad that you brought Mohamed Sanu back. But now, it's the guy you drafted 2 years ago in the 6th round that you describe as a guy who will get into a fight with anybody. And now it's rounding into shape. Mm-hmm. Jauan Jennings' role is to be what Kendrick Bourne was last year. Catch the balls on third downs, make the big plays. But now you have a guy with a bigger catch radius. And I love Kendrick Bourne, but you have a guy who's a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger, a little bit meaner. Run blocks. 49ers got something here, man. And clearly, Jimmy Garoppolo trusts him. But this was Jauan Jennings' best game. Mm-hmm. And Kyle Shanahan, you've been dying for your big slot. You got him. You got him. Here it is. This is what you wanted for Jalen Hurd. This is what you wanted from Mohamed Sanu. And who knew? It was on your roster the entire time. And you got it. Here we go. Again, this offense becomes damn hard to stop when you're talking about Ayuk. Kittle didn't do much in terms of catching the ball in this game. Ayuk, Deebo, now Jauan Jennings is contributing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's rounding in shape, baby. You know, like it's coming in. I love it when a plan comes together.
Yep.
It's happening.
Yeah. And I mean, hopefully, as I said, we haven't seen the tape yet, Jason, but I mean, part of it is I'm assuming Kittle probably was back to block, which part of the issue is, Trent Williams is out yesterday, so he had to pull Kittle into block. We'll see. I'm curious to see if that was the case. But yeah, Jauan Jennings, career and season high. It's his rookie year. So career highs in target, receptions, yards, and touchdowns yesterday.
Julio, thank you for the donation, buddy. What's up, guys? Yo, if Jimmy can play respectfully, in parentheses, don't turn the ball over, and we stick to what works, we hit in that NFC Championship, 49ers equal talent. Here's what's funny about that, Julio. You're absolutely right. But that's the formula kind of for everybody. No quarterback can really turn the ball over and say that you have a good chance of winning the game. Not Aaron Rodgers, not Tom Brady. I understand they don't have the propensity to do that. That's one thing, and I understand where you're coming from with that. But that's the formula for everybody. The only reason that it's the formula more for the 49ers is because of the decisions you see sometimes. But the Jimmy Garoppolo experience, man, again, I will describe it as this way. It's a roller coaster. When it's done, you just hope you don't puke. And this time, you got off of the roller coaster and you were like, man, what a ride. That was awesome. Ups,
You
downs.
puked a little bit here and there, but yeah.
You puked in your mouth, but you held it down.
You held it down, and then you got off at the end. You're like, that was pretty electric. If we're talking, I mean, listen, I'm not going to go too far into the future. But if we're talking NFC championship game chances, you really want the Eagles to win next week. That's all I'm going to say there, is because if the Eagles win next week, you're either going to Arizona or you're going to Los Angeles, and you avoid Lambeau Field for another week.
I am not the smartest man in the world, but I've got the Bucs winning that game. So.
Oh yeah, no, I think the Bucs win that game too. But the only team the Niners can't play is the Buccaneers, and so if the Buccaneers win and the Niners win, no matter the winner of the Rams Cardinals, the Niners go to Lambeau next week. But that's beyond the point. We're talking about the Rams game here. In a Jamaican boy, thank you for the. In a perfect world, could Hurd replicate Deebo's production?
I don't think so.
I don't
Jamaican
think so.
The thing that I think that they thought Jalen Hurd could be in terms.
Oh, he's talking in pass. Okay, I was
right.
Confused.
Let me phrase this correctly. In terms of utilization, not production. Listen to me. Utilization, not production. If you look at how the 49ers wanted to use Jalen Hurd, just watch how the Pittsburgh Steelers utilize Chase Claypool. Listen to the words. Utilize, not production. Utilize. Sometimes outside, sometimes inside, jet sweeps, all of those things. If you watch the one game that Jalen Hurd was used this preseason against the Raiders, they literally used him in the same exact fashion that Chase Claypool was used. Listen to the words. Utilization, production, not the same thing. They want to utilize. They wanted to utilize Jalen Hurd the same way as Chase Claypool, but you would never get the production of Chase Claypool because Chase Claypool is better than Jalen Hurd. There's some people out there that didn't understand that the first time that I said it, so that's why I am reiterating it over and over and over. But if you watch that one game and you watch any Pittsburgh Steelers game, you'll notice Chase Claypool end arounds, jet sweeps, sometimes inside closer to the line, sometimes the outside receiver where they throw jump balls. That's exactly what the 49ers envisioned for Jalen Hurd. Didn't work. Should have drafted Terry McLaurin, but I understand the sentiment. So the answer here for me, Jamaican boy, is no. Deebo Samuel just does too much. And that was probably a long-winded way to get around that. I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah,
I feel like I've said that before, and people are like, this guy just said that Jalen Hurd is Chase Claypool. I didn't say that. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying how he's utilized is the same exact thing.
I don't think Jalen Hurd has been picked up yet, Tim.
Jason, hold up. 20 times more. Utilized. Utilization, utilized. Utilization, utilized.
Okay. There's 5. I think I'm good. You good with 3 stars? We ready? Or you got any names you want to mention?
We got defense.
Oh my God, we forgot defense. Ambry Thomas. I'm going to start with him. I'm just going to start with Ambry. He's the guy we picked on. And I mean, this podcast, we were pretty low on him coming out, starting. He struggled early. Boy, were we wrong, because he has come up clutch the last 3-4 games. And it's so fitting that he's the one that gets the put away interception.
Again, this is Croc sentiment, and this is absolutely true. He just needed that one confidence booster. Just to real quick clean this up, Jamaican boy, but they said he was the best offensive player. That's BS. Yes, that's BS.
I don't think that was what he was, but that's okay.
I mean, if they did say that, they're wrong.
We're talking Ambry Thomas.
No, I think he's talking about Jalen Hurd still.
Yeah, I know he's talking Jalen Hurts, but we're talking Ambry.
Well, just to answer that, that's complete BS, because it's obviously Deebo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk is light years ahead of Jalen Hurd. But anyway, Ambry Thomas just needed that, right? Like, he was in position on many, many plays. And that's half the battle. But the confidence to go up and get it, that's where the interception comes into play. Andrew, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Rookies get better with reps?
It's weird. You know what I was thinking actually is Ambry Thomas is, and I need to word this loosely because it's not a bar for bar thing. He's the defensive version of Trey Lance, if you think about it. He's not going to play because of the depth above him. Then injury started to happen. He started to play, and he ended up being the Trey Lance of the defense because everybody's saying Trey Lance needs to play. Trey Lance needs to play. Get those reps. Get those reps. Get those reps. Ambry Thomas got those reps. Got those reps. Got those reps, and we're seeing how good he's gotten. And I'm not trying to say he's a top tier cornerback right now because he's not. You know, he's still a rookie. He's still learning. But the reps, you've definitely seen how much better he's gotten week in and week out. Sen, thank you. We appreciate you.
Sen, enjoy Dallas and be loud and be red because don't sell your playoff tickets. You can't stop this train. You can't stop this train. There's going to be as many 49er fans as you saw the last time that 49ers invaded Jerry World. Enjoy your time out there. Stay safe. Enjoy the game. And we'll talk about our analysis with that game, but enjoy your travel.
Thank you, Sen. We appreciate you. But yeah, so I mean that's really all I wanted to say on Ambry. You've seen the improvement. And he's been so good the past couple weeks. Another name, I'll let you cook on this one because he's a name that we've defended a bit. Eric Armstead, 2.5 sacks yesterday.
Oh, look at that. Let me ask you a question, guys. Now we're going to do defensive line wins. Is DeForest Buckner in the playoffs?
Hey, that was my joke yesterday.
I'm stealing it. Is DeForest Buckner in the playoffs? Oh, he's not? Damn. No, Eric Armstead had a baller-ass game. He did.
Yes.
And again, on Rob's show, someone asked, can Eric Armstead be the Justin Smith to Nick Bosa's Aldon Smith and get him more one-on-one looks? I flipped it. Nick Bosa is Justin Smith, and Eric Armstead is Aldon Smith now because he gets to play inside, and everybody's worried about Nick Bosa. Eric Armstead has been playing phenomenal in the run game, had a timely sack in this game, played very well, especially clutch time when you needed it. Eric Armstead's fine, man. He's fine. And look, I get it. You want DeForest Buckner. I already told you who to blame. That's not John Lynch. That's not Kyle Shanahan. That's your boy Parag, the wizard. The guy who picks coaches with a computer. The guy who picked Nolan over Holmgren because the computer told him to. That's a true fact. That's not even me making that up. That's your boy Parag, though. That's your boy, your wizard. One of 32 cap guys that every single team has. That's who you blame for DeForest Buckner not being here.
Yeah.
Not anybody else.
They could have made
Eric Armstead's been balling, man. And I'm happy for him, man. I'm happy for him. This pass rush
is a whole.
Getting into shape. And now you look, this pass rush is starting to be the crux of everything, right? Again, what travels in January? Pass rush, running game. 49ers have one. Now they got two. That's why you don't want to play them. Let's take some of these donations real quick, though. Yes. Jamaican boy, if Lenore didn't have vid, would he have played over Dante? No. COVID. If he didn't have COVID.
Yeah, I'm assuming COVID.
I don't know, man. I think they really like Dante Johnson. And look, some of his physical limitations, he shouldn't be covering Cooper Kupp. And to be fair, the best cornerbacks in the world have had trouble covering Cooper Kupp. But they trust him to be in the right spots. And Lenore will have time to develop. I think that what they've got right now with Ambry is found money. And they're fine right now, I think, at this point. So
Well,
let's take this one
then
too.
they even dropped Dante Johnson into back to safety too, right? They
Yeah,
had him
drop
in
him
there
to
a couple
safety. That's
plays.
the
Yeah.
versatility, right? Nickel, outside,
Mhm.
everything. He can do it all. That's the point that he's there.
We're
Right?
really seeing how important it is to feel comfortable or have Kyle Shanahan feel comfortable with you.
Yeah.
It's pretty important.
Yep. Julio, thank you for the donation again, man. LOL, I felt that, boys. Rookies do get better with reps. Elijah, Ambry, Trey. Dallas ain't ready for us. And yes, great analogy about Eric. Yeah. Look, again, Justin Smith did eat up a lot of double teams, but let's not discount how great Alden Smith was. We spoke to Jaquaski Tart. Jaquaski Tart has been on record saying that Alden Smith is the best football player he's ever seen play ever at any point. And he used to whip Joe Staley routinely. And one doesn't necessarily correlate with the other. But right now, Nick Bosa is demanding that attention. And now Eric Armstead is on the inside playing in his natural position, getting those one-on-ones. So you got to kind of flip that. Uh-oh. HR is in here with the fire. Cowboys. Cowboys soft like the Lambs. That's it. That's it.
That's a better way to word that. Better way to word that. There we go.
Cowboys soft like the Rams. Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. They don't want to get punched in the mouth. They don't like it. I mean, look, they go through the tough battles against the Joe Judge New York Giants, man. Those guys are super tough, man. Oh, man. You got to face Jake Fromm and Daniel Jones, man. Oh, my goodness, man. Those Cowboys are battle-tested, man. Goodness gracious.
Well, and we'll get to the Cowboys Friday maybe in a second here. Jason, let's get to 3 stars. I think it's
there's more defense to talk about.
What else? I'm looking at it. What else am I missing? You give me a name.
Look. Aziz Al-Shaair didn't play in this game. Dre Greenlaw had a good game in this game. Dre Greenlaw missed tackles. Dre Greenlaw body slammed Cam Akers.
Couple bad penalties.
Couple gap penalties, that's fine. First game back, he wants to make a play. Good, he's back. The 49ers are as healthy as they can be, and the concepts that I want them to run on defense can happen with Dre Greenlaw as opposed to the secondary, right? You can run man match with Dre Greenlaw because he's a former safety. And if he's as good in coverage as you guys tell me he is, then he should be able to run the same Fangio concept that I posted on my Twitter. Make sure you go ahead and check that out, where they have the safety drop in at a robber position and they switch off. That's man match. And Dre Greenlaw can do that. That can happen, right? If he's as good in coverage. But he played a good game in this game. Fred Warner, incredible. D'Amico Ryans was calling good blitzes at the right times. He played well. DJ Jones is still playing well. Jimmy Ward gave up 1 catch that I could see. And that was literally like the best throw that Matthew Stafford had all game. He had like 2 or 3 of them where I was just like, wow, that's an all-world throw.
Oh, that touchdown pass the cup.
That one, and then the one to Higbee too on Thomas. Yeah. That was a beautiful throw. Nothing you could do about that. But defense deserves a lot of love. And yes, Andrew, now we can get to 3 stars.
Now we get to 3. I didn't know you were going to go with the Greenlaw route. I wasn't sure if we were going there because I saw he had a good game statistic-wise. The penalties were bummers. So I wasn't sure if that's where you wanted to go with it. Jason, 3 stars time.
This is hard.
Man. There's about 14 honorable mentions. You know what? I'll start. I know I'm kicking out somebody who's way more deserving. But as I said, I like to give my 3rd star to somebody we haven't talked about, somebody who kind of deserves that recognition. I'm gonna go Robbie Gould.
Wow.
I'm gonna go Robbie Gould.
And look, that's not ironic. I know that I give Robbie Gould a lot of crap because of what he makes. But punting the ball in that time, that's invaluable, what he just did. If anything, he just really sent up the fact that you should have never wasted a draft pick on a punter. Now this man can kick field goals and punt very well. I hope Mitch Wishnowsky's good. Let's just get that out there, by the way, too. Concussion is nothing to mess around with or anything like that. I don't know if Andrew froze or if he's just – all right, maybe he did. But Robbie Gould, man, I really want to make sure that you understand the importance of him flipping the field. And look, why can't we have the discussion that there should be one guy who can punt and kick field goals? Robbie Gould just did that off the cuff, out of nowhere. That's my point about the whole kicker punter thing. Why is it that this guy can come in and do the job of the guy that you drafted in the 4th round, do we really need specialists? But shout out to Robbie Gould, man. Shout out to Robbie Gould because he held it down in a huge, huge time right there. D'Lo Fiasco, unsung hero on the D line. DJ Jones, he's a beast. We agree, 100%. And Jamaican boy Aziz or Dre need to play versus Cowboys to stop the run or no W. They are both going to play in this game. I'm going to jump out on. And Brett says, and do it barefoot, which is what all punters should be doing. Like if you're kicking with a shoe,
I'm sure Jason got all the points. I'm sure Jason got all the points I wanted to get to. I figured out my issue. I was on Wi-Fi and not connected to my router. That rookie mistake. It's the postseason, should be making those mistakes. But yeah, Robbie Gould, 5 for 5 on field goals. He made 2 and 3 being PATs. And then 2 punts for 90 yards. And that Wishnowski guy, 2 punts for 85. Like it's kind of apples to apples there. So yeah, I just want to throw out Robbie Gould. Just because he was thrown in a situation he wasn't used to and he excelled. So that's my 3rd star. Jason, go ahead, your 3rd star.
Jauan Jennings. Here it is. Way to pop up when you need it. He's been doing it in spurts, but to have it happen in the biggest moments, to have the Deebo Samuel touchdown go to him, to have the game-tying touchdown, in overtime, the catch and run that put them already in scoring position shouldn't be lost on you. Jauan Jennings is budding right now in front of your eyes. And again, the 49ers still won in the 6th round. I mean, yell all you want about who they should have drafted in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Give them credit. When they get a guy in the 5th, 6th round or undrafted that ends up being a contributor, it all goes into the same basket and it's all sort of the same process. So Jauan Jennings is my 3rd star, man. Keep balling, young man.
Jauan Jennings was my 3rd star, and then I knew you have him in there, so I went Robbie Gould.
Oh, I mean, we're going to be good. No matter who you say, I'm going to say somebody different. And I don't think we're going to have – well, we might have the 1st star, the same one.
We might. I'm curious because I got my 1st star. I'm curious to see if we got it. I'm going to go 2nd star Deebo Samuel.
We don't have the 1st star. All right, go for it.
We don't have the same 1st star. Deebo Samuel, I mean, he had the touchdown pass finally. 8 rushing attempts, 45 yards, a touchdown, 4 receptions, 95 yards. I'd like to see any other receiver in the NFL do that. That's all I'm going to say. That's not a shot at Cup. That's not a shot at Jamar Chase. Not a shot at anybody. It's just more I'd like to see another receiver do it.
Wait, I think we are going to have the same 1st star. My 2nd star is going to be a weak answer. Coaching staff.
Okay, yeah.
On both sides.
I'm all for it.
Both sides. Kyle Shanahan, D'Amico Ryans. 2 things. You all didn't want Kyle to start Jimmy. But there's a reason Kyle wanted to start Jimmy, even on that thumb. And you saw it happen. And things did not go well early in the game because he's trying to figure out what he can get away with Colton McKivitz. The 49ers, we haven't mentioned this. The 49ers won this game without Trent Williams. Goodness gracious. I expect Trent Williams to play against Dallas also, by the way. Good luck, Dallas. Whoever, that Texas boy. Good luck, buddy.
Good luck.
Trent Williams is playing. But Kyle Shanahan and D'Amico Ryans adjusting and figuring it out, you are lucky. And enjoy D'Amico Ryans while you have him.
Yeah.
He'll be here 1 more year before he becomes a head coach. Kyle Shanahan defied all the odds. When it was 17-0, you all wanted him fired. You all wanted him to make a move. He did exactly what he wanted to do. And can you argue with the result? My 2nd star is the coaching staff of the San Francisco 49ers. Keep going.
I think that's the first coaching staff star we've given out this year. We should probably keep track of these. Maybe next year we'll do that.
Yeah.
1st
star, say it. 3, 2, 1.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo. And listen.
You go.
I'm sure people are gonna be like the interceptions, whatever it is. Hey, that's a good 3 stars too. I like that 3 stars, Chris. We could talk about that all you want, but the season is on the line. He has a minute to go, 88 yards, no timeouts, and the Mad Lad got it done. He throws the best ball we've seen to Samuel. He hits Jennings. He hits Jennings for the touchdown, and in overtime he was just as good. And I know they didn't get the touchdown out of it, but man, to me it's impossible not to give him the first star because the season was on the line, and the Niners are still playing because of what he did, and that's just where it is with me. And I understand people are going to say the interceptions, Andrew, blah blah blah, and I'm just going to say the Niners are still playing despite those interceptions because of what Jimmy Garoppolo did. Man,
what are you going to say about this man? Even the most ardent Jimmy hater, if you are sitting here and your team is in the playoffs now because of what Jimmy Garoppolo just did, and you can't even give this man at least a little bit of credit, come on. Again, every single thing that you thought about him 72 hours ago that you didn't like is still valid today.
Mm-hmm.
But will you please give this man credit? Please. Oh, my goodness. Against all odds, 88 yards. I bet you 65% of 49er fans would have said this game's over. And if you looked at the Twitter timeline, they folded it up after that punt, which was the right decision, Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
Oh, look. Kyle Shanahan punted. You all yelled, but you wanted to go for it on 4th and forever on the other side when you had 3 timeouts and you knew that the Rams were just going to run the ball and you would get a chance again.
Nope.
Oh, look. Look at you, coach. You started the guy with the bum thumb against the Rams in a must-have-it game. It didn't go well. You stayed the course, and guess what? You reap the benefits because you realize 2 things. The Rams will fold when put under pressure, and Jimmy Garoppolo, no matter what, in this must-win game, you trust him, and you never wavered on that.
Yep.
And he rewarded you. My goodness. Jimmy Garoppolo, if that's the last regular season start we see from you, and I believe it is, that is the most fitting way for you to go out. Yeah. Because that game encapsulates your entire experience as a 49er fan and having you as a quarterback. That's it. And no disrespect to you, Jimmy, but what you just did was make a believer out of other teams. Look at that man against the whole odds with that messed up thumb, and look at what he just did. There's a GM, there's a coach, there's an organization that is sitting there looking at you like, hey, man, there it is. You see that? He's got that. So You're not here to boost up trade value. You're here to continue your reputation of being a starting quarterback in this league. And someone is buying into that. And you know what? You stamped it with that one. You stamped it with that one. You absolutely stamped it with that one. The Rams knew exactly what you wanted to do. What you had to do, couldn't do it. Couldn't stop it. And you found a way to get it done. Listen, man. You can believe what you want about Jimmy Garoppolo. Your same criticisms 72 hours ago ring true today. Mm-hmm. But give that man his credit. And the 49ers do not win this game if he's not starting this week. That's it.
Yep. And because he started this week, the San Francisco 49ers, they will play the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. It's on the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm watching on Nickelodeon.
I'm watching on. That's where I was going with this. It's on a plethora of channels. Most importantly, Nickelodeon. I wore the MVP shirt today because the Nickelodeon game is the most important game of Wild Card Weekend. That is a fact. They tried to put one on Monday Night Football to make you think it wasn't, but it really is. We're definitely watching on Nickelodeon, and I'm very excited. And Jason, we'll be back Friday, 5:30, same time. I hope to see who Texas boys. Is that his name in the chat? I saw his name.
But he's gonna disappear like Marketing Pro when the Cowboys fold.
But
come back. You're not Don Burr. Nobody's built like Don Burr.
That's what I'm saying. That's what makes Don Burr so legendary. Is Don Burr was here. Don Burr is a part of 49. So, hey, Texas boy, if you come back Monday and the Niners win, we will have respect for you and we can't slander you anymore. We hope you're back.
I would have respect for you if you pulled up on Monday. That's how I feel. Even like if you win, obviously you're gonna pull up. But if you pull up and you lose, we're not gonna slander you. Respect it. Where's Marketing Pro? Where's Marketing Pro? That's whack.
Where's Don Burr? Because we love him. Jason
Don Burr pulls up every single stream.
We love him.
You know what, Texas boy? You could be a part of 49ers Twitter too, bro.
You could be a legend. You could be a legend on these streets. Jason Aponte, we're going to get to talk about a playoff game on Friday.
Oh, my goodness.
If you guys are new here, make sure you subscribe, like, upvote, Texas boy, like it. And I feel like I don't advertise it enough, but hey, if you don't get a chance to listen to the live streams of this podcast, make sure you go find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast, Sprint Right Option Podcast. You can download there and listen wherever you can get us. You know, we're there. So, Jason, let's talk Friday. Let's have a fun week, as always.
Let's go Niners. And Andrew Pasquini and Jason Aponte and everyone in here, you are the fans of a playoff team, and we are covering a playoff team. Can't believe it.
Can't believe it. We'll see you guys Friday.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners.
Sprint Right Option.